Hi and welcome to Jamie DeRoy and Friends. This week we have so many things to share with you. This holiday season brings us many fabulous things. First of which is Once on This Island. This revival from the award-winning team of Steve Flaherty and Lynn Ahrens is now being directed by Michael Arden, and it's playing at Circle in the Square. It's choreographed by Camille A. Brown, and it stars among this fabulous cast: Tony Award winner Lea Salonga, Philip Boykin, Kenita Miller, and a host of others. You're not going to want to miss this incredible revival of Once on This Island.
You are part of the human heart. You are part of all who took the journey and managed to endure. The ones who knew such tenderness, the ones who felt so sure, the ones who came before you.
Let there be no moon. Let the clouds race by. Where the road meets the sea, let the tide be high. Let there be a girl walking by the sea. And let there be
In a car, going somewhere, going far. How it must feel to go racing wherever you please, flying as free as a bird with its tail in the breeze. Even the fish in the sea must be longing to fly, catching a glimpse of the stranger in white racing by. Oh gods, are you there? What can I do to get you to look down and give in? Oh gods, hear my prayer. I'm here in the field with my feet on the ground and my fate in the air, waiting for life to begin.
Over at the Booth Theater, the newest comedy to hit Broadway is Meteor Shower by the incredibly funny Steve Martin, who's gotten so many comedy awards there's too many to list. And it is directed by four-time Tony Award winner Jerry Zaks. Meteor Shower stars Emmy Award winner Amy Schumer, Emmy Award winner Keegan-Michael Key, Obie winner Jeremy Shamos, and Tony Award winner Laura Benanti. Meteor Shower plays at the Booth Theater through January 21st. Here is some footage from the opening night, which was a star-studded event.
He's a hero I met that did not disappoint. So, yeah, when he asked me to read it and then to be in it, I was like, absolutely. I did his play in college, so.
They're like a treasure you find on the beach. I can't believe I've got four really funny people doing this. And not only that, they know how to give it over to the other person when they're being funny, and then it becomes their turn to be funny, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch. It's like watching a string quartet.
We have this little circle that we do before the show where we hold hands and we talk about how much we love each other, basically. It's like a prayer circle, but for each other.
I had just finished doing a very long, intense drama. So I thought, what would be the exact opposite of Hamlet? Oh, a Steve Martin play. So, yeah.
The Parisian Woman, a political comedy written by House of Cards writer Beau Willimon, is now playing at the newly restored Hudson Theater, and it stars Uma Thurman. In the cast are Josh Lucas, Tony Award winner Blair Brown, Philippa Sue, and Martin Sokas. The play is brilliantly directed by Pam McKinnon. Here is a look at The Parisian Woman.
I don't give a shit about Trump, just like I didn't give a shit about Obama or Bush or any of them. I'm a fucking businessman. I go whichever way the wind blows. Presidents are assets. They exist to be bought, sold, and managed.
If you're not a Democrat when you're young, you don't have a heart.
If you're not a Republican when you're old, you don't have a brain.
Right.
My Parisian woman?
Maybe just your wife.
I adore you.
I adore you more.
The only time you ever lied to me is when you say those exact words.
In the cabarets, there are so many incredible shows. You're not going to be at a loss for things to do in this holiday season. On Monday, December 11th, Jamie DeRoy and Friends is doing a very special 'Tis the Season, honoring and benefiting the Actors Fund, including Stephen Carlisle, Sophia Ann Caruso, Judy Gold, Melissa Manchester, Frances Raffel, and Sally Ann Triplett. The critically acclaimed Stacey Kent will be at Birdland from the 12th through the 16th. The Broadway at Birdland series is proud to bring back the two-time Tony Award winner Christine Ebersole and Grammy Award winner Billy Stritch for their show Snowfall on December 18th and 28th. You can celebrate the holidays at Birdland from December 22nd through the 25th with a swingin' Birdland Christmas, and it stars Billy Stritch, Kalia Blackhurst, and Jim Caruso. At Green Room 42 at Yotel on December 18th, Big Red and the Boys, get your holiday on. On December 19th at Green Room 42 is Wicked's Marissa Miller. She brings her show to the club In the Meantime on December 19th. At Feinstein's 54 Below, there are so many wonderful shows. On December 11th and 12th, Christine Petty in Snow Business. It's her Divas show, and the trick is she's all of the divas. On December 13th, A Well-Strung Christmas. It's directed by Richard J. Alexander. On December 15th, 16th, and 17th, the 10th annual Joe Iconis Christmas Extravaganza, and it's always an extravaganza. I don't know how they fit all these performers in the room and the audience. You're going to have a great, great time. For some very fun Christmas shows, you're going to want to check out Michael Feinstein at Feinstein's 54 Below from December 18th through the 30th. His show is Christmas Crooners. I had the opportunity to actually talk to Michael about his Christmas show. Here it is.
It's always fun to come up with a new concept every year for the holiday time. And this year, I was thinking about all the great voices that have been part and parcel to the holiday experience. And so I thought that it would be fun to celebrate some of the voices, some of the sounds that they gave us, in addition to the songs themselves, and to celebrate the fellowship that always happens at this time of year. For me, it's always about finding ways to reinvent songs that people know so they sound fresh and feel fresh. And that's no small feat, because there's really a handful of Christmas songs that people want to hear. And then introducing other ones needs to be done in balance and judiciously, so that's fun, and I'll be doing that. And the makeup of the band will be a little different, because we're adding an electric guitar, so we'll have some more contemporary sound and some backup singers. So I can do the traditional stuff as well as some stuff with more pop sound, and thinking of putting together a Peter Allen sequence, just because I'm in a Peter Allen mood. I was listening to his songs and thinking how
love Peter Allen.
There's so many great songs that they're just worthy of being heard, and they feel celebratory for Christmas. So it's really more of an instinctive, visceral response in choosing how to put something together.
So is it more like thinking of Rosemary Clooney and Mel Torme, those kind of people, or that you're thinking of, or am I off base?
You're never off base. But they are certainly part of the energy of the show, and it's not going to be literally like this one sang this one and this one sang that one, but there will be, I think, a noticeable or inherent connection to their legacies.
Oh, that's what I meant. I mean, because
yeah, I understood. I was just being cheeky.
Oh, that's okay. But you can be cheeky anytime with me. Again, I congratulate you on being part of this club. I think it's given it a whole new lift, and it's just always a pleasure to come here. They do
Thank
2,
you.
3 different shows here every night.
Yeah, it's prestidigitation.
Norm Lewis brings his show, Santa Baby, directed by Richard J. Alexander, to the club at the 9:30 shows. They're there from November 18th through the 23rd. I also got a chance to speak to Norm.
We're going to be asking Santa for a lot of stuff, going back into my childhood and some of my adulthood. I need more. And I think what I need more is love.
Well, tell us about the show, though. I know that every time I've seen you perform, you do an amazing show. And I've seen you in the, smaller clubs and even the Appel Room.
Yeah. Well, Richard J. Alexander is, phenomenal. He's a good friend, but he's also my director. And Joseph Joubert at the musical directing, and such a great band. Perry Cavari and George Farmer. We just have a good time together, and we want to bring songs that we know that people will enjoy. I'm into a lot of the artsy kind of songs as well, but sometimes people are not into that as much, and especially during the holiday time. So I would rather bring people songs that are familiar or something that I know will touch their hearts. And I don't even want to call it a show. I want to call it a party.
On New Year's Eve at Feinstein's 54 Below, you have 2 choices. You can stay for both shows or go to one or the other. Direct from Frozen, Cassie Levy is there at the early show, and Leroy Reams will be there for the late show on New Year's Eve. Here is a look at Broadway royalties Leroy Reams from a past Jamie DeRoy and Friends.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York. Out there's a world outside of Yonkers, way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby, out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white and a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's, and we'll close the town in a whirl, and we won't come home until we've kissed a girl. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then
rest up from New Year's Eve, you can catch Our Time, The Children of Merrily We Roll Along, on January 2nd and 3rd. It's the original cast members from this iconic show. From January 6th through the 13th, a very special event with Tony and Emmy Award winner Matthew Morrison at the club. You're not going to want to miss these shows. Bistro and MAC Award winner Tanya Moberly brings the John Weber Show to Don't Tell Mama on December 29th. Down at the Duplex Cabaret, a very Natalie New Year. Natalie Douglas does both the early and the late show at the Duplex Cabaret Theater. Here's a look at Natalie Douglas from a past Jamie DeRoy and Friends.
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so. Everyone is saying you don't love me. Say it isn't so. Everywhere I go, everyone I know whispers you've grown tired of me. Say it isn't so. People say that you found somebody new, and it won't be long before you leave me. Say it isn't true. Say that everything is still okay. That's all I want to know. And what they're saying, say it isn't so. People say that you found somebody new, and it won't be long before you leave me. Say it isn't true. Say that everything is still okay. That's all I want to know. And what they're saying, say it isn't so.
Down at Joe's Pub at the Public Theater for 2 nights only on January 3rd and 8th, Sarah Stiles brings her show Squirrel Heart. Sarah was last seen in Hand to God. She was a Tony nominee, and she's one of my favorite young actresses. On December 15 and 16 at Carnegie Hall, the most wonderful time of the year, with one of my most wonderful events of the year, because it's the New York Pops under the direction of Stephen Reinecke, and the special guest is Megan Hilty. Also, the Essential Voices USA under the direction of Judith Clerman. Here is a look at the New York Pops' incredible orchestra. 9th annual Urban Stages Winter Rhythms returns once again for 12 days, starting December 12th through the 23rd. 22 shows in 12 days. This year, it is dedicated to the memory of Barry Levitt, who died suddenly. The opening night is all about Barry. It's entitled Barry Levitt, the Maestro and His Music. Among the many guests are Trezana Beverly, Don DeRoe, Brian Charles Rooney, and Janice Hall. Back at the Cafe Carlisle is Steve Tyrell in his annual show. It plays through New Year's Eve, December 31st. It's called A Song for You, and it is such a delightful evening. The 92nd Street Y recently announced the new producer of Lyrics and Lyricists. It's Ted Chapin of the Rodgers and Hammerstein Foundation. I got a chance to sit down and talk to Ted. Here is a look at that interview.
If you've been an actor who's been around for a while, actor, singer, and has probably, I mean, anybody who's been around for a while has dealt with good directors and not so good directors. And I would think that an actor has to have his own or her own defense mechanisms of how to deal with that. So I would imagine that's part of why a lot of actors think they could direct it, because they can certainly do better than whoever that is.
And they certainly know how to work with other actors,
exactly,
which is nice.
Exactly. And I mean, I believe, this sounds like a cliche, and it sort of is a cliche, but I believe in the collaboration. And anything that's musical and theater is a collaboration whether you like it or not. And if you create an atmosphere where everybody wants to work hard, it's going to be better. It's absolutely going to be better. The conversations we're having about Bobby Darin, for example, I mean, Alex Timbers is directing it. Jonathan Groff is very much part of the conversation. Andy Einhorn and Billy Stritch are the music department.
Wow.
And the conversations we've had have been just astonishingly creative.
Well, it sounds really exciting. And
Yeah.
you're also doing a Frank Lesser evening?
Yes, David Loud, who I have to say, I think has done consistently among the best of the lyrics and lyricists through the years. And so he will be doing a Frank Lesser evening at the end.
So in June, to wrap up the season, I understand you're doing a Frank Lesser evening.
Right. David Loud, who in my opinion has done consistently some of the best lyrics and lyricists in the last few years, is going to do one based, the focus is Frank Lesser's lyrics. When I met with him about it, he pulled out a piece of sheet music of a song that Frank Lesser wrote in Hollywood called Why Do I Always Get the Neck of the Chicken? To which I said, no, I've never heard of that song. And he said, you know, when Frank Lesser primarily wrote lyrics only in the Hollywood years, but he said there are wonderful lyrics, there are funny lyrics, and I would like to examine Frank Lesser from that standpoint. Which isn't to say we won't hear the songs he wrote once he came here and wrote Guys and Dolls and Most Happy Fella and How to Succeed. He wrote his own music, but there will also be a focus, primarily a focus on the lyrics.
To close our show, out at Paper Mill Playhouse is Annie. It's such a seasonal favorite. When it opened in '77, it swept the Tonys, including Best Musical and Best Score for Charles Strauss and Martin Charnin, and Best Book for Thomas Meehan. Well, this version is directed by Mark S. Hobie, and it stars Tony Award winner Beth Level, with Christopher Sieber as Daddy Warbucks. Also in the cast, Aaron Mackey, Peyton Ella, and Cassidy Pride.
Wait!